All right, let's just get straight to it. Being politically correct, right? And being politically correct and working on yourself are two different things. Being politically correct and being real with yourself are two different things, man. Okay, now look, by no means am I saying this for you to go ahead and quit your job, because you got to remember that, look, it ain't nothing that's going to make a man feel more emptier than seeing all these other men on a grind and you out here, you can't afford anything. You feel me? You can't even afford the basic necessities. You know what I mean? So look, what do I mean by it's a big difference being real with yourself and being politically correct. Because you got to remember this: you can be righteous or you can be politically correct. You got to remember that righteousness goes. The Most High expects you to go according to the book. You know, we're gonna slip up, we're gonna make mistakes, but you gotta, being righteous, you gotta go according to the book. Being politically correct is kind of like skewing it. Like, okay, but you can go the righteous way, but we've made policies politically correct. We've made policies, right? So which means what? Being politically correct basically just means even if it's the wrong thing to do, it might not be the righteous thing to do, but we've made policies to kind of skew it. Okay, so what am I trying to say? It's kind of like the man being in the house, right? It would be a hospitable thing for a man to be inside of the house. It would be best for the family, for the children. It'll edify everyone to have the woman and the man inside of the house, right? But what does politics say? Politics say, okay, yeah, that's good. The children will need the father inside the house and the mother. It'll make the household 10 times more dynamic. But we've made policies to say if you guys choose, not to raise a household with all the members inside the family, we've made policies where the government can take care of you now. It is the righteous thing for a man to live inside the house, because that way the children can learn fortitude. They can be 10 toes down pretty much. You know what I mean? They have a strong spirit inside them. They can go out into the world and deal with other men because they've seen how their dad took care of business inside the house. You know what I mean? It's nothing more better than communicating with your children and seeing how your children are learning from the things that you're teaching them. It's nothing more better than going out into the world and seeing a lot of lost males, but you got two boys and you're teaching them the ways, the laws, the statutes, the commandments, how to treat other people out there, how to have respect for themselves first. You know what I mean? How to give respect to other men. It's nothing better than seeing your children beginning to grasp that concept and growing strong. You know what I mean? But what does politics say? Politics say, okay, well, it's good for a child to be strong, good for a male child to be strong, 10 toes down. Yeah, that's all. But we've made a way if the child wants to be a little bit more soft, if the child wants to get in touch with his feminine, side. You know what I mean? If the child wants to, even if the child wants to like other guys, we've made ways for that little boy to, be free. That's being politically correct. You know what I mean? So what am I trying to say? Policies. Okay, there's a way to do things, cut and dry, and then we have policies that, it might not be the best way, it might not be the most integrable way, it might not be the most whole way, it might not be the most righteous way, but we'll make rules for it to curve a little bit. It might not be the straight and narrow way, but policies allow crooked things to have its way. Policies allow things that aren't integrable, things that won't benefit a person to still be legal. So there's a right way of doing things, and then there's the politically correct way of doing things. So what am I trying to say? Being real with yourself, there's nothing more real. There's nothing more. You have to remember that the truth will set you free. You have to remember that corporate America is here to take you away from yourself. What am I trying to say? You work not in some of y'all be trying to read y'all Bible and y'all so tired coming home from work. All you can do is utter a few words. Okay, Father, worthy is your name. Thank you for another day. You out. Lord, I really feel like praying right now, but I'm so tired, blah, blah, blah. Please understand. You out. You're in your, so you got to remember that corporate America, you got to remember that policies are here to drain you from what is real. Now I'm not saying not to go out and get a job, but what I'm trying to say is that you have to remember, you don't get lost into the corporate, politically right way of doing things, because you got to remember that you have to stay true to yourself at the same time. Now, let's say you give your whole self to that job. Of course, you're going to be drained. Of course, you're going to be upset 90% of the times, because you got to remember that a person is usually upset because they're not reaching their goals, y'all. Okay, so it's a lot of y'all on y'all jobs that are still highly mad. You're paying your bills, you're eating, but you're still upset because that fulfillment, that gift that the Most High gave you, you're not feeding into that.